I can't remember the last time I read a book just for fun, not an audiobook, but an actual book. That's what 6 years of caregiving does. It doesn't take your life all at once. It takes it in pieces so small you don't even notice until it's gone. I almost didn't make this video, not because the diagnosis is hard to talk about. I've made my peace with that. I can say that out loud. It's because this part is harder to admit. This video is not about my husband. It's about me and how much of me I've quietly let disappear over the last 6 years. My name is Jamie. I'm 55 years old and I have a husband who I love immensely. But somewhere in the middle of taking care of things, I've lost me. I stopped being able to find myself in my own life. I don't say that to sound ungrateful. I say it because I think there are a lot of women out there watching this video who feel exactly the same way, but they haven't been given permission to say it. So, a quick context just to introduce myself. In July of 2020, my husband was diagnosed with Lewy Body Dementia and Parkinsonism. By the time a doctor actually said those words, I knew the diagnosis. I'd already spent months researching, piecing it together before anyone officially confirmed it. So the diagnosis wasn't a shock, but it was the start of a different kind of life and one that I didn't get to plan for. But I'm not going to spend this video telling that story. That's a video for another time. Today, I want to talk about something that I've been much slower to admit. What 6 years of caregiving has done to the woman underneath of it. Before I go further, I want you to know about the person who I was before this. I had hobbies and I had friendships I actually maintained. I used to read for fun. I worked full time. I went to church. I was on committees at church, volunteering whenever I could. I used to have opinions about things that had nothing to do with medication schedules. And I'm not saying this to be dramatic. I'm saying it because somewhere over the last 6 years, I stopped asking myself, what do you want to do today? Not because I don't have wants anymore, because I do. Because I've gotten so used to not asking myself that question, I genuinely don't have an answer to it. People ask me, what does caregiving look on a day-to-day? Well, every day can be different. A lot of my day is spent keeping things calm for him and managing his schedules between appointments. So on any given day, I'm cooking and cleaning and managing medication and making sure he gets rest and taking him to appointments or taking him wherever he would like to go if he's having a good day. But somewhere's in there, I'm supposed to be a person. The last part, that's the one that keeps losing. Here's what nobody tells you. It's not one big moment where you lose yourself, where you just disappear. It's 1,000 small ones. It's not one dramatic sacrifice. It's just quietly, constantly coming last. There's a kind of grief in this that almost nobody names. And it's not just grief for him. My husband is still here. I can see him and hold him and give him a hug. I can talk to him. But the man I married is slowly leaving. A little more with each month that passes by. And that is called ambiguous loss. And I've made peace with naming it. At first, I would feel guilty, feeling grief and sadness over this. But it is true and honest feeling that I have. But here's the part that I've been slower to say out loud. I'm also grieving me, the version of me that had time, the version of me before every single day became about what someone else needed. You're allowed to love someone with your whole heart and still grieve the person that you used to be before you started taking care of them. That's not selfish. I used to think it was, but I don't think that anymore. I want to say something honestly, even though it makes me nervous. There are days that I feel something close to resentment, not at him, never at him. He didn't choose this either, but at the situation, at the fact that I can't remember when I did something last that was just for me, with no one else's needs attached to it. At the fact that self-care for me is sitting in the car for 5 minutes in quiet before I go inside. I felt so guilty the first time that I admitted that to myself. If you felt that and hated yourself for it, I need you to hear this. Feeling resentful about the loss of yourself does not mean that you don't love the person you're taking care of or that you love them any less. I want to be honest about faith too. Caregiving strips away the easy part of faith, the one that only works when life is working. The passage I keep returning to is Matthew 6, verses 25 to 34, where Jesus says not to worry about your life and points to the birds and the flowers who are cared for without striving. Some days I think of that and say, well, easy for the birds. They don't have my to-do list. But other days, it's the only thing that reminds me that I don't have to hold tomorrow and today at the same time. And lately, I've started reading it as permission, not just to stop worrying about my husband, but to stop feeling guilty for still needing something for myself. I'm not telling you all of this to wallow in it. I'm telling you this because I'm trying to change it. I want you to do it with me. I'm trying to claim small pieces of time back, not big dramatic ones. 10 minutes, a walk somewhere, reading a page in a book before I fall asleep at night instead of scrolling on my phone. And I need to work on my own health too. I've simply not had room for myself. And so I'm working on that sustainably. It's not an easy fix. None of this is about becoming a different person. It's about making sure that there's still a person inside here after all, underneath everything I do for everyone else. Maybe your situation looks nothing like mine, so let me speak to a few women who may be watching. Maybe you're a new caregiver and you haven't noticed that you're disappearing. It happens slowly. Maybe you're 10 years in and you don't remember what your hobbies used to be. Maybe you're not caring for a spouse at all. Maybe it's a parent or a child, but you know exactly what I mean when I say you come last every day without ever deciding to. Or maybe caregiving isn't even your situation and you just recognize this feeling from somewhere else in your life. The sense that you've been so busy taking care of everyone else that you have quietly walked out of your own story. Wherever you are on this list, I see you, and this channel is for you. If this video has resonated with you, please subscribe and leave me a comment below. Tell me, what's one thing that you miss doing for yourself? Before I go, I would like to leave you with the verse that has meant the most to me lately. For this reason, I say to you, do not be worried about your life as to what you will eat or what you will drink, nor for your body as to what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air, that they do not sow, nor reap, nor gather into barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not worth much more than they? And who of you, by being worried, can add a single hour to this life? And why are you worried about clothing? Observe how the lilies of the field grow. They do not toil, nor do they spin. Yet I say to you that not even Solomon, in all of his glory, clothed himself like one of these. But if God so clothes the grass of the field, which is alive today and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? Do not worry then, saying, what will we eat, or what will we drink, or what will we wear for clothing? For the Gentiles eagerly seek all these things. For your heavenly Father knows that you need all of these things. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. So do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will care for itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. One day at a time is enough, and so am I. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, stand still and know that he is God, even now, especially now.